Alright then, the Pz.38H light tank, on sale in store, £3.99 for that, and the T15. So, is it worth the money? Is it good value? Should you do it? Should you not? First thing to say is, if you want to laugh and you want a couple of tanks for £4, that ain't a bad deal, is it? I mean, fair enough. I mean, by all means, go and do it. On the other hand, it's not great. What do I mean by that? Well, there's this and there's the Pz.35T at tier 2. So if you put the credit making to one side, which is reasonable, don't get me wrong, it's not as good as the Pz.35T, and that, I guess, is the problem with the tank. It's not that the tank's particularly bad, it's just that it's not particularly good either, and that there are better things available already just for free for nothing in the tech tree. So that's point one. Point two, the tank does have quite some limitations. So first off, it's slow. Oh my god, is it slow. The straight line speed is glacial. I mean, like, I think I've had 20 kilometers an hour out of it or over running it down a hill, but when you're on the flat you're doing about 14 to 16, and that feels like an age. And you know, on top it's a light tank, so it's not really, for my money, a typical light, because it's, well, heavy, as demonstrated by the glacial speed that it moves at. The second thing is, you would think that because it's heavier, it's weighed down with a bucket load of armour, and that also, sadly, is not the case. Now, don't get me wrong, it will bounce the odd thing, and if you get it on an angle and you're using the turret, but I've got to say I've been pretty damn disappointed with the bounces I've got in it. I just figured it was more heavily armoured than it is, and it just isn't. And bearing in mind you're at a tier where premium ammunition is not really going on. The next thing to note is the pen on the gun is pretty goddamn awful, if I'm honest. You can see me trying to get through that Stuart there. Yeah, no flaming way, Jose. I mean, yeah, I get I'm losing a bit of damage over distance and this, that and the other, but the Stuart's not really a heavily armoured tank. It's got a bit of armour on it if it's wiggled around, but that kiddie there was just sort of sat there stationary, and I'm still having difficulties. The accuracy on the gun's not bad. I mean, we are talking about a tier 2 tank. What do you want? You know, some sort of Deadeye Radical on it. But once again, I got in the PZ-35 after to remind myself about the gun on that, because I think that's easily the most comparable tank, and the dispersion, the accuracy, everything about the gun in the Pz-35T is better, to be quite honest with you. So the play style of the tank, I played it 11 games because I put my time in on the tank, and I tried doing all sorts of different things in it. I tried frontline in it when I was top tier, and that didn't work out too well for me. No. So I think 11 games did about 81%, and the 2 games I lost were the ones where I frontlined it. It's not a frontline tank even when it's at tier 2 with its compadres. When you start hitting tier 3, it's still competitive, but you're up against PZ3s and Rampanzers and all that kind of thing. You're still going to have to adopt the same playstyle as I'm playing here, which is effectively kind of glacially boring. And I'm sorry for this, but I'm trying to show you how to play the tank. So I'm not going to do anything, you know, like swashbuckling or whatever. It's just not that kind of vehicle. And you can see another bounce right there on the Stuart, and I wait for him to go past the ambulance because my shells won't actually go through that, so I have to manoeuvre around to get him. So side of a Stuart's fine. There you go. And yeah, there you go. I've got a bounce. And you know the gun can work. You just got to really aim it up, and you've got to know your weak spots on tier 2, tier 3 tanks. Otherwise, if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to get a lot of things not penning whatsoever. So this game's gone alright, and like I said, the play style is pretty much what I've done. I have pushed around on the flank, but I have conserved my hit pool, and you can see now that I've decided to move, it's just, it's going to take me an extremely long time. And to the extent that I've already begun to look at the clock because I don't want to draw the game, and it takes me just so long to get anywhere that I figure I've got to go and deal with this AMX. And then if you look at me in the AMX doesn't have an exceptionally great gun, but it's just going to be a trade. I'm not going to, even though I'm angled, pulling up over a ridge, trying to do my best, I'm not going to get a lot of bounces in this tank. So I'm going to go around and push the AMX and clear him out. But you can see everything he's shooting at me is going in, no problem. There you go, that's the one bounce that I got off him, and I'll just clear him out. And then I'm absolutely cacking it at the end of the game because I'm like, look how long it takes to turn, man. Oh God, it's slow. And I'm like, right, if this, I think it's a 14 TP, decides to run away, this is going to be a draw. In fact, that's what he should have done. He should have just buggered off and drawn the game. But he hasn't, so he allows me to put a shot into him there, and then I'm just basically going to pray and hope for the best and trundle really glacially slowly over the top of here, and then get to the top, and then really carefully aim. So look, not bad, but you know, I do wonder if it wins on either, right, A, it's not a Seal Clumpy tank, B, it doesn't earn particularly great credits, C, there's better things at the same tier, and sort of D, it's kind of not much, what's the right description, fun, because you're not like bouncing a load because your tank's like dead OP and you can just sit there amusing yourself bouncing shots, which I like to do in heavies. And as a light tank, you can't YOLO around the place because it doesn't YOLO. So really, you're playing something for a laugh. I don't mean this in a patronising way about tier 2. You're playing something at a lower tier for a bit of a laugh and some giggles with your mates, or maybe you really love lower tiers and you really just like playing tier 2. That's your business. But the tank's not really a laugh. It's just sort of a bit, oh man. So, look, I'm just going to put this on just to have a point made, really. This is the Pz.38H with my funky kitten camouflage. Not got in this tank for about a year, so I just got in it and I played 3 games. I think this was the second one. And I put this on because it's like on exactly the same map. I only just played from the opposite direction. And I'm going to do pretty much the same thing. I'm going to push up into, you know, what we call the tier 2, tier 3 corner. I wouldn't necessarily do this at tier 9, but this is at tier 2. I'm going to push up into the corner. I'm going to spot these buggers up, and then I'm just going to farm them down this far corridor. Look, the Crusader, you know, he's got no idea what's going on. But the thing is, with this tank, and I'm not saying it's a bounce machine, you can angle it and you can hold down and you can get some bounces out of it. With this tank, my whole point is, I've immediately been able to get where I want to go at speed. It's a light tank. And then when I've got pushed, unlike in that other thing, I can just pull around the corner and then I can peek and boom with this T26 all day. And that's absolutely fine. With the H, the problem you've got is it's really hard even to peek and boom with it because the reverse and the traverse and everything about the mobility of the tank, when you're moving in and out, quite a lot of the time, as you're pulling back in, you get caught because it's just not agile. The the 35T, however, is all the things it isn't. The gun is better, the pen is better, the speed is better, the agility is better, the traverse is better. The dispersion on the gun, I'd have to look, is better. Everything about this tank is better than the Pz.38H. So what I'd say is if you're a collector, by all means get it. If you want a bit of a giggle, only it's not really a bit of a giggle because it's dead slow and a bit meh, get it. But if you want to hang on to your $3.99 and just play this for free from the tech tree, then to be honest, that's what I would do. I'm just going to sit here and no scope this LTVZ, whatever. I think I'm going to finish this game on about 900 damage, and that's like I think it's a second or a third in this, and the ace I got in the other one, okay, I got 6 kills, was about 906 sort of damage. So you can see, I guess it's a rare attack, but you can see the ace bars as well do indicate generally how well a tank is played, how OP it is, and well, yeah, how many players are playing it. But I would say it's quite an easy tank to ace from the point of view that it's just not that OP. It's not hard to ace if I can do it in 11 games, because to be honest, people aren't doing the big numbers in it, and the reasons for that are all the ones that are listed. Anyway, I'm just going to fast forward this out to the end. I hope you enjoyed the review, and I hope it's balanced. But overall, I'd say I wouldn't do it. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. See you. Bye.